Hi, I am a person who struggles with my mental health, so let's talk about it. I am a creator that is 38 years old and I have 3 teenage children, so I don't typically fit into the creator space the way that some of these other creators do. And I think the other thing that makes me different is that I talk a lot about when I'm struggling. And maybe that's more often than you're comfortable with, but that's my reality. And that is something that I am not going to have shame about. I came from a very complex, traumatic childhood. So I have very severe PTSD and anxiety. For so many years, I thought I had depression and I tried every depression medicine on the market and nothing worked for me. But I was also in the headspace that I was going to find a magic pill that would work, and that just doesn't exist. I want to preface this by saying that I've been through a lot of therapy and I've done a lot of work on my mental health. I also want to preface this by saying I slept on my hair wet last night. I did not have the energy to fix my hair or do anything cute with it. So this is what I look like today. Sorry, not sorry. I also want to make it clear that no matter how much therapy you've had, no matter what medicine you're on that helps you, no matter where you are in your life, there is no easy way to get around having mental health issues or struggling with your mental health. Really hate the word issues because it really puts it on the person that struggles as something they should feel guilt or shame for. I want to say that there is no way out of it other than through it. And I just want you to know that you can come out on the other side of it, and you might feel like you're on a roller coaster sometimes, but there is hope. And I'm an example of that. All that to say is this week I've really been struggling. I've struggled a lot with anxiety, severely, waking up in the middle of the night having to take anxiety meds. I do have anxiety medication that I have that I call a fire extinguisher. I take it maybe once a month or for more of like a panicky feeling, and I have had to take it several times this week. I haven't slept well. I've been having bad dreams. Those are some of the symptoms I have of anxiety and PTSD. I also find myself becoming a little bit of a recluse when I feel this way, and that's my own insecurity and feeling like I'm too much for people, or people leave, so it's better to keep those things to myself. I've had a lot of people dip out on me, including my parents. So my brain tells me, you're easy to leave, you're hard to love. And I know those things aren't true, but that's what my brain tells me when I am feeling this way. I think the important thing to note about having anxiety, PTSD, depression, or whatever it is that you have or that you struggle with is that anything can trigger it. The smallest thing, being startled is a trigger for me. Like, I hate to be scared and startled, and that can really set off my body into like a fight or flight mode. Being insecure, feeling like I am not in a good place in a friendship, worrying that I've said the wrong thing. The mouse set me off into this like really fight or flight mode all week. And I just want to hold space for people. And I know that is such a like therapy thing to say, is holding space, but I really feel like there are no other words for it sometimes. But I want to hold space for people that sometimes you just don't know what brings it on, and you just feel like you're spiraling or you're not okay, and that is allowed. And I want you to know that sometimes you just have to go through it to get out on the other side of it. Thankfully, I have a husband who is so loving and so supportive, and who's really great at reminding me that this feeling is not forever. And so I want to be that person for you if you don't have that person, and remind you that this is not forever. So hold on to those words and know that these things come in waves and you're going to be okay. And I also want to say that if you are a person who struggles with your mental health because of things that happened to you that were out of your control, like childhood trauma, abuse, whatever that looks like, I just want you to know that it's not fair that you have to spend the rest of your life fixing the things that someone else broke. It's not fair, but you can do it, and you will do it because you have to do it. Getting teary-eyed only because I'm very passionate about people knowing that there is life on the other side of this kind of trauma. And I hope you stuck with me, because I want you to know that the purpose of making this was to just show you this other side of life. I know that the content creation world can be very fake and very phony, and people really try to put on this front that life is good all the time, and it's just not true. It's not true for anyone. It's not true for anyone, no matter how amazing their life looks. I'm writing my memoir right now, and I think that over the past few months, that's brought up a lot of things for me. And I just want to say that I'm actually I welcome this feeling. I had a friend once tell me that, and it stuck with me in a bad way, tell me that you're always going through something, like you always like are feeling too much. And maybe that's true, but it is who I am and it's how I'm wired, and I can't apologize for that. And sometimes I find myself doing that. The other day I said to my friends, like, I'm sorry, I know I'm always like, my trauma, this comes from my trauma, but it's the truth. It is very complex, and that is the thing about having been through a lot of hard things. Anyway, again, I want to be that person for you to say that you're not alone, and you will come out on the other side of this, and that life is worth living, and life can be really beautiful, but it's also very messy and very hard. I tell my kids all the time, nothing is ever too broken. So please remember that and hold on to those words. And also know that most of life sucks. I tell my kids this too. Most of life is so hard and complicated, but it is sprinkled with the most beautiful moments that make it all worth living and holding on for. So just wanted to encourage you and know that everyone is going through something. Everyone is not okay all the time, and that life is absolutely not perfect. So if you're watching other creators and thinking you're missing out on something, it's just not reality, and know that you're going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. That's it. Bye.